Sponsor program is paid for by Twin Fin Media.
Good morning, Delmarva. Welcome to Coastal A&E. I'm your host, Michael Sprouse, and we are broadcasting live from the beautiful studios of Delaware 105.9 FM. For the next hour, you are in the house of Sprouse, and we're going to take a jump into the creative side of the surf. Good morning, Roman.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you, man?
I'm all right. We've had a lot of people out sick here at work this week, and it's been kind of busy. You know, we're a radio station. We still got to serve our clients and our listeners. We had 8 people out yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We had a bunch of people. Every year we do like a cruise promotion where one of our DJs from each station and our listeners go on a cruise, and we think they brought something back.
Whoa. Let it stay over there. I was going to say maybe they have spring fever because things are popping out there, man. I'm very excited about daffodils, crocuses.
We had 2 days of pretty warm
nice
weather.
Yeah. And tomorrow, of course, is St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. I don't think our winter was that bad this year.
I'm with you. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of. There's this guy that I know that works in this store in Lewes, and every time I go in there, I'm like, hey, man, it's really springy out there. And then he's always, no, we have another freeze coming. You just, and I'm like, man, you're always bringing
Where's
me
the
down.
optimism?
I know. Come on, it's spring. Oh, no, we have another one coming. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Sounds very crotchety.
He sounds a little, he's a little
sounds
weather
like he's
bitter.
been burned.
Yeah. He's been burned by one too many crazy, unexpected freezes. But I think it's beautiful out there. I mean, of course, and St. Patrick's Day is a fun. Do you have any Irish blood in you there, Roman?
I don't think so. I'm mainly Latino, a quarter Mexican.
There you go. But
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, St. Patrick. Everyone says everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Is what they say.
Just so they can drink, right?
Yeah, I guess that's it. And there's a big parade in Ocean City today.
Yeah, one of our sister stations is down there in the parade.
That's right. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she's like, I got to run out to the store. I have to go up to the arts and crafts store to get some things for a project for her daughter in school. I'm like, what's the project? Oh, they're making a leprechaun trap, which I said, just go to the grocery store and get a box of Lucky Charms, man. Here, kid, you're done. Yeah. Get an A+.
For the parade?
I thought was funny. I guess it's a thing they do in class. A little leprechaun trap, which I think, that sounds like fun. So listen, speaking of my friend Michael Bell, whom you remember, he's been on here several times.
Yeah.
He's going to be calling in just a little bit this morning. His father is from Ireland. He's a friend of mine too. Cool. So Michael is Irish Italian. And
I was about to say, I thought he was pretty Italian.
Yeah, he's gonna. Doesn't look, but yes, he's definitely he's Irish Italian, and that's always fun to talk to him about that. His father's a great guy, a friend of mine as well, and he and I did a show several years ago when I had a gallery in Lewes called the Ireland Show that we did on St. Patrick's Day years ago. So we'll probably touch base about that for a minute. Of course, we have Ray calling in. They're back open. They had their big grand opening Thursday, which is exciting. I know that went over well. And in the second half hour, I have 2 incredible photographers joining me here on the air, Kyle Kaminski and Susan McLean.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting ready to open a fun studio and gallery in Lewes Beach. And that's in the second half hour. And
you live pretty close to that.
I do. I could walk
pop
down
over there.
Hey,
get some headshots or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And they're very talented photographer. I actually had them on my other radio show on Radio Rehoboth about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. We had a really good time. Like, you just got to come back and get on. It's fun when you have several shows. You can just everybody
Not
get
everybody
on the air.
has that luxury, I guess.
Everybody get on the air. So I know Michael's going to be calling in soon, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And there's just a lot of things going on in the area right now because it is spring. It's not officially spring yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to push the thing, but when
it feels like
it.
We're
walking
out of winter for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've got things growing. Like I said, man, there's daffodils all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's March 16th, so
yeah, that's spring. That's
happen.
good enough for me.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about it is once you cross that line into the warm weather is here, you normally don't go back until November-ish, right?
I'm more of a fall guy, but I'll take spring now.
You seem like a fall guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like somebody who likes fall.
Yeah. Hey, we got a call coming in.
Hey, maybe that's our friend Michael Bell. Good morning. You're on Coastal Lane E.
Hey, brother. How you
Hey,
doing?
there he is, Michael Bell. How's it going, my friend?
Everything's going great, man.
That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear. Listen, I'm glad that I was just telling Roman here and our listeners. So your second your father is from Ireland, so that makes you second generation, right?
He came over when he was 10, and I was just looking back through some of those memories. I just posted it up on Instagram and Facebook for you. Some from the Ireland show we did over a decade ago on St. Patrick's Day, where he came out for the show, and I think it was very touching, for him to see a tribute to the culture. And we just had a lot of fun making those paintings. And putting on the show though too.
Oh, that was a blast. And at the time, I can't remember how many years ago that was. It may have been close to 15 years ago. You and I were doing that together, not only because we both have a shared Irish heritage, but also it was on St. Patrick's Day, and it was a fundraiser for the Milton Theater, I believe, to some degree. Wasn't that right?
It was. I think it was the build up to that. It was in part with that, and you and I, we've always tried to do our part in the communities and to give back and to reward people for coming out to see our stuff by equally giving back. So that's something you and I have always been passionate about.
Yeah, well, you got to keep the arts going, man. You got to keep them alive, and of course, and the Milton Theater has done incredibly well since that time. There, as anyone that lives around the area knows, there have been a lot of changes at that theater over the last 15 years. But at that time, it was really just starting to get its game on as sort of becoming this focal point of performance, live performance, and some of the many other things they do there, which is a great asset to the community. But we had a really good time in that show. It was on 2nd Street.
We did.
We
did, yeah, absolutely. And you bring up a good point, and it's for all artists out there. I think it's very important to realize what's currently happening in your community, and you need to fill that need, whatever that is. Artists have always been the one to respond. They've always been the first ones to respond because we're the most creative thinkers out there. And at the time when the Milton Theater was in bad need of some help, you and I responded, and we responded big. And I think that upsurge, that had a lot to do with that. And it was also to do with you were acting at the time as well and started getting involved with the theater. And it's all about leading a creative life and sustaining that and keeping that going and doing your part.
Well, you're absolutely right, my friend. And of course, that's something that you do have done almost every day for the last 20 plus years, right? Because you're very involved. Right? Just in a little nutshell, just to remind our listeners, of course, you and I, you're one of my best friends, and you've been on the radio show several times. You've been on the A&E Report several times, and you and I have done many projects together over the years. But in a nutshell, explain to our listeners, because you're on Delmarva now, which we're all very excited about, what it is that you do and how you're still continuing that progressive forward movement.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I'm always going to remain an artist in education now. I took a position in Queen Anne's County as a supervisor over visual and performing arts, world languages, and media. So I'm wearing a lot of hats and I'm doing a lot. But you remember, because you were a judge when I started up the huge Art Quest
That's
show
right.
over the bridge.
I did that a couple of times.
And so it became one of the largest student art exhibitions in the country and nationally sponsored. Well, since coming over here, I got our teachers fired up. I have 2 department chairs, Stephanie Zeiler and Michelle Moyer at both ends of the district. One's at Queen Anne's High School, one's at Ken Island High School. They started up the first ever chapters of National Art Honor Society this year, and they bought into starting up the first ever district-wide K-12 student art exhibition at both high schools. And it's going to be called Art Scene, and it's kicking off this April 9th at Queen Anne's High School, and then April 11th at Ken Island High School. It's going to include all the feeder schools. So we're starting something really big over here in world languages. We're bringing the seal of biliteracy to the district for the first time. So we're doing a lot of exciting, dynamic things. Even our media folks are, they're happy because they're getting involved in creative, collaborative ways, making maker spaces. I mean, it's all about bringing the arts to life. I started up an Arts Teen of the Week column in the local newspapers to highlight those exciting teenagers out there, pay tribute to my late friend Wendy Winters, and who started that column up together with me. And so that's in a nutshell, quick and simple. Wearing a lot of hats, but having a lot of fun resurging the arts in Queen Anne's in a big way.
That's phenomenal, man. I mean, absolutely. And of course, the memories I have of Art Quest, that was just a huge program. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that go to these things and to this one night only type of show, and hundreds of students that were involved. And for you to bring that on an even larger scale, man, it's very commendable. Very exciting. The kids must be thrilled.
It's a lot of. They are thrilled. It's very exciting. You know, the visual arts haven't had a lot of attention over here in recent years, and so now, I mean, we came out of the gate. They had a statewide winner. Both teachers at both ends of the district, Andrea Schulte and Stephanie Zeiler, had their first scholastic art winners. We had 10 of them this year. They'd never even done it before. And I even have one of my music people. You know, our music people are doing amazing things too. Winning all kinds of awards at band festivals. But I have a Teacher of the Year, Heather Eflin, who's a music teacher at Centerville Elementary. She's been nominated. She's a finalist, so I'm going to be going to that dinner. So, man, it's just exciting.
That's fantastic. Well, man, you got to love the music people, as you said, the music people.
I do.
I love that. That's great.
I do. The musicians, you know, I mean, they have a huge presence over here, so I always give them their props.
Well, you're just, you know, it's going to be so satisfying to help be an active tool in bringing that level of creativity to students. You know, and some of these students, and I know this for a fact because, you know, you and I have had many conversations about this over the years. Some of these students are using that opportunity to really raise themselves out of situations that could otherwise be very damaging to their future.
Absolutely. You know, the arts are always they're always the safe haven. They're always the place that can provide hope, and whatever takes a lot of courage often exalts hope, and that's what I'm trying to do for these teachers and for these students over here. And now I have a bigger stage to do it with, which is exciting. I'm working for a fantastic superintendent and deputy superintendent who believe in the arts, and they're all about it. So, I mean, who has that opportunity, you know, to work for people that are championing the arts? So I'm just excited, man, and I'm couldn't be more thrilled to just bring the great work that's being done out there to light. And as an artist myself, I've walked the walk, so I know how to help them through these moments where you're building things and you're creating change, and it's exciting.
Absolutely it is. Hey, listen, let's give a shout out to your website just so people, I know that they can take a look at your work and
Sure,
a lot of the history. It's mbellart.com.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to go to, MBell Art on Instagram or MBell Art Live on Facebook, I posted some of those photos, those throwback photos from our Ireland show.
Man, we look really young in those photographs. I'm just telling you, like, my God, look at this.
Yesterday.
I look like I'm 12 years old. That's what I was a student artist myself. That was a long time ago. I'm going to try to get those on our Facebook page as well, because, of course, we're streaming this live on our Facebook page. We're having a slight technical issue, so our little computer graphics that show our sponsors of the Facebook Live aren't up today. They will be next week, but that is courtesy of my friend Charlie Messina, Plumbing, Electric, and HVAC. They're wonderful people, and they're sponsors of our Facebook live stream. So I'm going to try to get those photos. There, you know Charlie. He's a great guy.
I do know Charlie.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And, of course, man, they're supporters of the arts as well. So I'm thrilled that they're on board for that, and they're helping to make this happen. And, man, I always have a good time when I got to get you back in the studio, because we always have a good time. And, you know, when we're together, and this is true because we've done a lot of collaboration art pieces together. I know this is something that you've taught your students in the past. When you get together and everyone's sort of tapping into that creative energy, man, some magic can happen.
It definitely can. And, you know, while we won't be spending this St. Patrick's Day at a gallery opening back there,
that was a fun event. That was a very fun event.
It was so fun. I mean, it is nice to look back on those memories, and we'll be making many more. I'm sure, many more.
That was a great opening, man. It was a lot of fun. And it was a packed opening. I'll try to get those photos up there. We had little bowls of Lucky Charms.
It was a packed opening.
I can't get over the Lucky Charms reference today. That's just me. It's been crazy. Catch Lucky. That was a great memory, and good times, man. Good times. Michael, I am so glad you had a chance to call in this morning. I really appreciate it. And kudos to you and all the phenomenal things you're doing. I would love to see these programs go onto a national level at some point, and I think that's quite possible.
Absolutely. They're heading in the right direction with the art scene shows April 9th and 11th, so it's going to be exciting. And, I'm excited for you, too. You keep doing your creative thing and spreading the word about the arts through this show and through all the various means that you do. It's exciting for you, too. I'm happy for you.
I appreciate that, my friend. I really do. Listen, we will have you on back here on the air again soon.
We'll get together again.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'll take some more photos. We'll look a little different. That's okay. All right. Thank you for calling in, my friend, Michael. Thank you very much.
Thank God for Photoshop.
All right. There we go. Photoshop. It's our best friend. You, too, can look 20 years younger. 302-839-1059. That's the Delmarva Allstate agent Paul Sarnak talker text line. Anyone, feel free to give us a call or give us a text. And again, I have in the next half hour, I have two amazing photographers that are going to come in here and talk more about their vision and their creativity. And we have a caller on the line. Good morning. You're on Coastal A&E.
Hello, it's Ray.
Hey, Ray, Cuvée Ray, good morning. Right on time, my friend. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Let me just start by saying congratulations to you, because I know you had your big grand reopening. Was Thursday night, correct?
Thursday night, and it was amazing. It really was. We had a huge crowd. Everyone had a great time. We, debuted our new Cuvée Casual bar menu, which really is going over amazingly well, and it's been great. It's been a great start to 2019, and we're super excited about it.
That's fantastic. So one of the new things that you just mentioned, your menu. So give some highlights, because I get a lot of feedback from people who was telling me, they were just saying what a fantastic experience that was. So you literally have a new bar menu. So if you're in the main area of your space where the musicians often perform, if you want to come in and just sort of catch some music and have a smaller or just a more easier way to sort of have a bite to eat and have some wine, that's a very doable thing for you now, correct?
You bet. I mean, and what we're, people are just sampling and sharing different things. We've got 4 kinds of flatbreads. We've got small plates like fried oysters and charred Brussels sprouts and Chef Joe's take on pork and beans, he calls it. But they're beautiful Berkshire pork meatballs with white bean cassoulet, and we've got sliders, short rib sliders. It's just, like I said, it's been great. Everyone's been really diving into the new menu with soups and salads and stuff like that. So
that's fantastic, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's going really well. And like I said, we've had a great start to the 2019 season. It couldn't be going better.
Now, who do you have performing there this weekend? Who's there tonight?
Yeah, so tonight we've got Meredith Roundsley. I don't know if you've met her, but she is amazing.
I have not met her, but I've seen some photos of her, and I've listened to some of her music on her website. Now, she has Nashville connections, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think she's just coming back actually from Nashville. She spent during the time we were closed in Nashville, and she's coming back now. And it's her birthday weekend.
Wow, there you go. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, she has.
So that's tonight.
What I've heard her perform on has been amazing. I mean, phenomenal. And I would like to get down there and see her. I know that she sort of plays there. She's played there more than once, correct?
Oh, yeah. She's been there several times, and I really, really enjoy her. She's just, she's got a great, great voice. She's really, really top notch. And so she'll be on tonight, 6:30 to 9:30. And then tomorrow, I want to tell all your listeners, we are opening at 2 tomorrow. We normally open at 5, but it's St. Patty's Day. And we're opening at 2, and we've got music starting at 3 with a group called The Pub Crawl with Jim Rezac, and they're going to be playing some Irish and American tunes and different kinds of music, including some Irish music, of course. And we're going to have some special Irish food and some cocktails and beer, and it should be a great time. We're also, Sundays is our buy one, get one half off special, which will also be running all day. So, so tell just one of your listeners to know
I think you just did.
Opening tomorrow. Yes.
Tell your listeners. We just did that. That's phenomenal. I think that sounds like a great way to spend the St. Patrick's Day. And you said you're going to have some. Do you have any like particular Irish? You said Irish food. Is that what I heard you say? What is that for you exactly?
I need to talk with Chef Joe today because he gets everything super fresh, and we'll have to see what he's going to cook up. It could be something like an Irish stew or something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to check it with Joe.
I'm gonna make a reference to Lucky Charms again. I can't get it out of my head. It's like it's like all I can tell you is Lucky Charms. That's not there. That's just it was a joke from earlier. Listen, Cuvée Ray is at 236 Rehoboth Avenue, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, folks. And you can get more information on their website at cuveray.com. Ray, I'm really glad that you called in. I'm very thrilled that you guys are up and running again, and I know it's exciting, and I'm really happy for your success.
Thank you so much. It's great to talk to you and great to be open again.
All right, my friend. Listen, I'll be talking to you next week, and I'll probably see you before then. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, you too. Take care.
All right. Hey, listen, our guests have come in. So I think you can put your headsets on. We're just sort of by the seat of our pants here, but you're here. So I got you here for the second half hour, but I'm glad you guys are in here earlier. So it's we got just a couple of minutes before, and I'm just giving you a quick introduction. It's Kyle Kaminski, Susan McLean, two brilliant photographers. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Get a little.
You gotta get a little closer to the mics.
Yeah, bring this thing closer. It's not gonna bite me, right?
There we go. So I'm glad you guys are here. You were was it a week and a half ago? I had you on the other radio show on Radio Rehoboth.
Very excited to be here.
And
this
here you are
morning,
now.
too.
I'm
Thank
excited
you so
about
much
it. You're
for
getting a
having us.
lot of play online already. I was checking it out. So thanks for spreading the good news about it. And we're gonna go to break here shortly. But I wanted to let our listeners know that you had actually walked in.
Yay.
I saw you out
We're
there.
here.
Yeah.
We made it. We found you.
It's very exciting. And of course, we're streaming this live on Facebook, so everyone can see you. There you go.
Hello.
Wave to the cameras. Wave to the cameras. That, by the way, everyone, that's at Facebook.com/CoastalAE. And of course, you can follow along and interact and put comments out there and all that good jazz. And we're going to talk about your phenomenal photography when we get back in the second half hour. And you're soon to be opened. Soonish.
No,
That's the word.
We're making
We're
some
nailing it
progress.
today.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Excellent. That's going to be in Lewes Beach.
It is just
correct.
2 blocks from the beach. Yeah.
2 blocks from the beach.
Right down
It's a
the
great
street from
place
Dairy
to
Queen.
have a studio. That's going to be phenomenal. So we're going to talk about that. I was really thrilled when you guys were on last week on my other radio show on Radio Rehoboth, and I thought, this will be fun. Let's just get you back on the other, and talk about, because you're doing some very interesting, unique things, which we will talk about when we come back from the break, that I really have never heard other people, that I don't think it's something that people do frequently in connection to their photography. I hope that came out well. That was a lot of words.
Well, if not, we'll go into better detail. Too.
Yes, I would hope so. Better than I just did. People could be like, what is it they're doing with their photography? Sounds very interesting. But
We got like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. All right, we got 10 seconds. Then we're going to come back with Kyle and Susan. We're going to have a really, really good time. Don't go anywhere, folks. And again, you can go to our Facebook page, and we're streaming this, live streaming right now on Facebook.com, Coastal AE. I'm your host, Michael Sprouse. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Get a jump start on your spring cleaning and start making a pile of all the stuff you want to get rid of. Why? Because the Delaware Solid Waste Authority is holding an electronic goods collection and document shredding event on Saturday, March 30th from 8 to 2 at the Fenwick Island State Park at 36859 Coastal Highway in Fenwick Island. Do you still have an answering machine hanging around the house or an old computer that's been sitting in the corner collecting dust? You can bring all those things plus up to 2 file boxes of personal personal confidential papers for shredding free of charge. Remember, the event is for Delaware residents only and no commercial services, please. There's no better time than as we head into spring to take a look at all of the stuff that you've been meaning to get rid of and bring it to the Delaware Solid Waste Authority's Electronic Goods Collection and Document Shredding event at the Fenwick Island State Park. Rain or shine on Saturday, March 30th from 8 in the morning until 2 p.m. Call the Citizens Response Line at 800-404-7080 or dswa.com.
Starting April 1st, Hooper's Landing Golf Course in Seaford is offering unlimited greens fees with a monthly or yearly golf pass. Walk anytime or cart fees at $15 per person or buy in bulk. Discount range balls or range programs are available. Discounts on clothing and golf pass only tournaments, reciprocal discounts with Rookery North and South. Plus, you can get March 2019 free with a yearly pass purchase. For pricing and details, call Hooper's Landing at 302-629-2890 or visit hooperslanding.com. Hooper's Landing Golf Course on Locust Street in Seaford.
You work hard for your money, and there's a simple way to make it worth more. Hi, my name is Vicki, and I'm the branch manager at Discover Bank on Route 13 in Greenwood. Stop by when you have a minute because we're paying some of the highest interest rates in the country. Our savings accounts and our one-year CD rates are among the highest in the country. So visit mydiscoverbank.com or visit me, Vicki, at our Greenwood branch and start earning some real interest. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
News update. The man accused of gunning down 49 people at 2 mosques in New Zealand made his first court appearance. Network 10 reporter Daniel Sutton is in Christchurch.
Brenton Tarrant, a 28-year-old originally from Australia, faced court here in Christchurch. It was only a very brief court appearance. He wore a white prison smock, and a judge made a ruling that prohibits any publication of his face. And so images of that court appearance have been released, but they do not show his face. It has been blurred to preserve the court process.
48 people were hurt in the massacre. That number, as well as the death toll, could have been even higher. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern.
There were 2 other firearms in the vehicle that the offender was in, and it absolutely was his intention to continue with his attack.
Tarrant live streamed the shootings at one of the mosques on Facebook. CBS News Update, I'm Wendy Gillette.
A cozy winter night by an outdoor fireplace, tailgating on your new patio with an outdoor kitchen, a beautiful paved stone walkway or driveway. To see what a little stone can do for your home, call Passwater's Landscaping today. Passwaters are your hardscaping experts. Over 35 years of combined industry experience. But don't let their fine work make you think it's expensive. Passwaters will listen to your needs, design and install a patio that fits your budget. Be ready for spring. Right now, for a limited time, get a 14 by 16 paver patio for $3,800. Don't delay. Call 302-227-LAWN. Visit PasswatersLandscaping.com. Whether a retaining wall, walkway, pool patio to outdoor kitchen, Passwaters can hardscape it beautifully. Call now to get a quote. 302-227-LAWN or PasswatersLandscaping.com. Quality isn't expensive. It's priceless.
Passwaters. Here at Delaware 105.9, we're always taking your calls on the Delmarva Allstate agent Paul Sarnak talk or text line. That's right, text line. Instant text into the studio at 839-1059. If you don't put many miles on your car each year, then Allstate's new miles usage-based car insurance might be right for you. Call Paul Sarnak, your Delmarva Allstate agent, with offices in Delaware and Maryland, 302-248-8500. And remember, don't text and drive.
It's not too late to book a spring or summer carnival cruise out of Baltimore. Hi, Cindy McCabe, owner of Bethany Travel, your full-service storefront agency in Millsboro. Choose fun on a carnival cruise, and when you book with Bethany Travel Dream Vacations, it's all fun with no extra cost. That's right, no booking fees. So give us a call now to book your spring or summer cruise from Baltimore or many other ports. Call Bethany Travel at 800-806-TRIP and let my experienced team help you plan your carnival cruise today. Carnival Cruise Lines has great pricing, and Bethany Travel can assist you every step of the way. Even a cell number provided for after-hours emergencies. And the best part, you get the same price as the internet with no booking fees. Come sail with me and your favorite radio personality on the 2020 Cruise to the Caribbean, March 22nd, 2020, from Baltimore on the Carnival Pride. Call today to book your cabin at 800-806-8747 or online at bethanytravel.net. Then start packing. Remember, the internet is for looking, Bethany Travel is for booking.
Ships registry the Bahamas, Panama, and Malta.
The Central Delaware Chamber of Commerce 55 Plus Expo is happening at the Dover Downs Hotel and Casino Wednesday, April 3rd from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. The 55 Plus Expo features the Caregivers Support Center. If you're caring for a loved one, you know how difficult it is and how much help you need. The Caregivers Support Center will help you find those resources. Listen into the Susan Monday Show at 11:05 on Monday. She'll be talking to Judy Diego, president of the Central Delaware Chamber of Commerce, about the 55 Plus Expo right here on Delaware 105.9.
The following program is a paid commercial presentation.
Don't you love that?
I do.
Oh, that's great on a Saturday morning.
Love that song.
It's a good little
The
ditty,
Spinners.
isn't
It's
it?
a good ditty.
It is.
So I get to
every day I
pick
wake
different
up.
songs every Saturday I come in.
Oh,
here.
do you?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so I drive on my way in here from Lewes. I'm like, oh, that would be the best bumper song.
Nice little snippet.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great one.
like
I
it.
love that song. So I listened to it. I said, I'll come in at the 27-second mark. Great song. I'm glad you two are here. What
We're happy
fun.
to be here.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in. So Kyle Kaminski, Susan McLean, and you're both incredible photographers.
Thank you.
You've joined Creative Forces, and you're opening soonish a little. That's the word.
We're gonna
Soonish.
Lean on the soonish.
That's right. And down. Well, actually, it's Lewes Beach. It's across the canal.
It is.
And you can have a gallery/studio.
Yeah. We're going to have our art on display, I guess, our photography.
You come in and check out. We've,
Mostly our
we've done.
wildlife and landscape, and then place to meet clients and team up to do some portraits.
Place to eat some ice
and-
cream right down the road from
I know,
Dairy Queen.
yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Walking
a
distance.
You're in
That was
between,
important.
right? Aren't you in between?
We are
There's-
right between Harvest Tide and Dairy Queen. kind of.
But no, there's also what's the other place? There's
We'll
two
have to try them
there's-
too. Maybe
Yeah.
on the way to
They're
Dairy
not
Queen.
open yet.
Yeah.
That's
They're
right.
game
Are they
up.
not open yet?
No, Dairy Queen's
Oh,
been
Dairy
open for
Queen
weeks now.
Yeah, Dairy. You gotta love the ice cream. Of course, because nothing goes better than sand, but ice cream.
No,
right, when you're
of
there,
course not.
and you can take photographs of it. Because one of the interesting things that I learned when we were talking last week or a week and a half ago was that one of the services you're going to be offering for people that, let's say, they would be here vacationing.
Right.
And they want to get more involved with the actual
Want the
experience.
entire family.
Exactly,
in
the
photograph.
entire
Always
family.
one person left out.
Instead
Yeah.
of being the one behind the camera, you can actually be
Right.
in
On
the area.
vacation
Yeah.
and in your photos and
Enjoying
in your
it.
memories. Yeah.
And you
so
guys will take the photos.
Yep. We'll
Yeah.
be there even if you don't want us
Fun
to be
land
there.
on the beach.
That's great.
Hiding behind the
kayaking.
dunes.
Yeah.
That's great. You'll sort of, do you dress in camouflage? How does
We-
that
we
happen?
could.
You know,
We
that's
haven't,
a
yeah.
request. You know that
Yeah.
we can make happen. Definitely, I would totally blend in. and
You can put your wetsuit on.
I would put
head
my
out in the
wetsuit
water.
on and
yeah.
put my SEAL suit on and
Yeah.
Wow, it's very undercover. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
But it really, it's a service that you offer that I'm not familiar with other. I think it's a new, unique, fun thing, I believe. And you're not posing photographs.
No,
right?
this is all candid.
I mean, yes, we do pose, we do our portraits, your traditional portraits, but you know, Susan and I have always emphasized on candid. You know, you want to
Oh,
capture
sure.
that moment.
But I'm talking about in this particular service that you would be offering.
yeah, we can
someone
put
that,
you in a bunch and
you
take
know.
your
Yeah.
picture. We'll get everybody together. But yeah,
it's really what you want. I mean, if you want to pose up on the beach and do that, or you want us to just tail you along in tow, and we'll be behind you taking photos.
Like a very unique thing would be to put on some faded jeans and a button-down white Oxford and
If
stand
you
on the
are.
dunes with your
if
entire
that's
family at
what
sunset.
they want, we're happy to
That
do
would
that
be-
too. However,
That would
yeah.
be a phenomenal new experience for
yeah,
everybody.
but if they want something a little bit different, we're hoping people will let us tag along when they go to Funland, when they go
really just
out
looking
on
for
the
an
beach.
excuse to go to Funland.
Yeah, man, I would be
I know,
like,
I'm really pushing the Funland.
Where's the
Skee
photographer?
ball.
Skee ball?
Yeah, I know.
That's
where-
exactly where you'll find me.
That's where I
Bumper
would
Don't
cars,
worry, the
yeah.
drone is following.
That's right. That's exactly where I'd be. But I think that's such a unique and clever, and of course, the last time that we were together on the radio,
Right.
we talked about the fact that, you know, everybody has a camera with them
Right.
now in their phone.
Right.
And I think you have to think of different and unique ways to sort of offer a service if you're going to go into photography professionally.
Right.
That makes people go, oh, well, that's cool. That's clever. That would be perfect for us, you know?
And this is something that just kind of followed up by nature. Like, you know, Susan and I are always, involved with our kids and whatnot, and we're never in our photos. So we're like, we would like to be in there.
There's like 7 years that people might not even know I was on vacation with the family.
Yeah. That's all
Maybe a
right.
reflection in a window or
Did
something.
you have
like,
parents?
Is that
No,
mom
they were
taking
there,
the
baby.
picture?
Yeah, there she is. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's a good point because people do want to be able to be. Not everyone likes
memories,
to be exactly.
So 20 years from now, when you're looking back on your pictures, you say, "Oh, here's the whole group,"
There
and
they
not
are.
just there's. Wait, where's mom?
And they can say, "Who took this photo?" I'm like, we hired professional photographers. Well,
Right,
which is
yes.
nice too.
Yes.
Right. So when will the location of the space be?
We are going to be 404 East Savannah Road, and there's a yellow condominium building right next to Harvest Tide.
Mhm.
Right now, we're the only ones without a sign.
Without a sign.
Officially. That is potentially in the works.
Yep.
We hear we may.
We're waiting.
Yeah.
Do something with crayon if we have
Hey,
to. By the
yeah,
time
well, you're
we're ready
creative people.
by the time we're ready to open.
And you were
Hopefully-
mentioning that you have a big drone on its way,
Yes,
which is
it's
very
actually
exciting.
coming today. I'm hoping it's going to drop itself off.
Wow.
It's really neat. It's going to open up this huge, just allow us to do so many things. I mean, it's tracking. It can track you when you're riding your bike, you're running, your kids are in the water, your boat. I mean, it's neat stuff. So definitely stay posted for more videos to come with that. I'll be definitely playing with that for the next.
I don't think I'm going to
hot
get a
minute.
turn with that one. I have a feeling.
Just look sadly from afar. Can I try?
I may be taking pictures of Kyle flying the drone. I'm not sure how this is going to
Yeah,
work. but-
definitely,
Hey, there you
definitely
go.
big kid here talking.
That would be fun. Hey, listen, I need to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors of Coastal A&E. That is the Residences of Lighthouse Cove, Dewey Beach. Do you like the idea of luxury living? Well, that's exactly what you'll find at the Residences of Lighthouse Cove, Dewey Beach. They feature brand new 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom luxury condominiums nestled directly next to the Rehoboth Bay in the heart of Dewey Beach, Delaware. The Residences featured resort-filled amenities, incredible bay views, bayside dining, and much more. They're family-built, family-inspired, and family-operated, all designed specifically for you at 1301 Coastal Highway in Dewey Beach. So welcome to luxury living in Dewey Beach. For more information about the Residences at Lighthouse Cove, visit them online at www.theresidencesde.com. That would be, if someone's like vacationing there and they're like, oh, we want to have,
Yeah, wherever they're vacationing and they want us to go. I mean, we could go do happy hour or happy
Yeah.
we could.
I'm just looking for an excuse to get outside, really. So.
Sure. So you're an outdoor guy.
I have to be outdoors. Even during the winter when it's blowing 40 miles an hour and -5, I'm outside.
And what are you doing when you're out there?
Taking photographs or
Well,
surfing
there you go,
or
surfing
hiking
or
the
hiking.
surfing.
all the above, yeah.
It's not. I used to think it was a hobby for people, but when
It's an obsession.
you're standing out there, when I'm taking pictures of these guys and it's 30 degrees outside, and they're like, "No, it's
No, we're
fine,"
cool.
and I
Hot.
can't feel my face. I'm like, "How are they out?"
Well, that's exciting. I would imagine that would be a great opportunity to get some really beautiful.
Yeah.
Because everything. Let me ask you this: seasonally, as someone that you both work outdoors,
right?
Does the water? Obviously, there's a difference color wise because as we move through the seasons. But what else is affected? The light. I mean, can you see it in your photographs? Can you say, okay, I know that this was early spring. I know this was late
I
winter.
feel like the sky definitely changes to the
yeah.
clouds and
Yeah, very much.
a little bit more dramatic, I think, in the
The
summertime
stormy
when we get
winter clouds.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, given that there's not as much sunlight too, I feel like we have shorter windows of, the golden hour and the blue light. Things just transition fast in the winter. So
3 days till spring, though.
I know. I'm
But
very
who's
excited
counting?
about
I'm
that.
dying.
We're already here.
Yeah, I think
in
when
my
I'm taking
mind,
my
just me.
When I'm taking my photos in the winter, though, I think there's a general like blue hue with everything, though. You know what I mean? It just has that overall effect.
I thought that was my seasonal affective disorder.
The haze in my eye.
I'm feeling really blue, man. Now, have you taken photographs and similar photographs in other parts of the country or other parts of the world where you've noticed this change in light?
Yeah, so I love the Outer Banks. Like the Outer Banks is my second home. I'm still trying to figure out a plan how to move down there full time, or have a house
And run a
down
business
there.
here locally?
I would absolutely.
This is
love
news
that.
to me.
Breaking
Here we are
news,
on news
Susan.
radio.
Hey, we're doing it now, so it's documented.
Here comes the
I'm going to see how this is
dissolution
going to
on air.
happen. It's going to be great.
So I've San Diego. I love San Diego.
San Diego is beautiful.
Mission Beach, Pacific Beach, La Jolla. I mean, Hotel California. Like every time I've gone out there, I've just fell in love with the place.
Wow. And you've noticed visually a difference in when you're in a different location. Do you just find that yourself naturally you're taking a different type of photograph?
I feel like when I'm like over there, you're definitely like, it's a huge environment. There's millions of people you don't know. So I think you're just naturally more in tune with your environment. And you definitely see things that you probably wouldn't see in your hometown environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy looking back at, those photos I've taken years ago and seeing, why was I taking a picture of that? Like what significance was that? So yeah, it definitely puts a different perspective on your photos.
Right on. And Susan, do you have a similar experience? To that?
Well, I think at least here this time of year too, it's kind of, I'm looking for something new to take a picture of because everything is still in its winter state, and there's a lot of the wildlife has gone south for the winter, maybe towards the Outer Banks, like Kyle wants to do. But I feel like at least around here right now, I'm looking for a different kind of sunset or a seal on the beach.
We have some trips planned. Yeah. Let's say that like Maine is definitely in our wheelhouse. The North Carolina shoreline is definitely in our wheelhouse. Assateague, Chincoteague. I mean, those are some of the shoots that we're on our schedule right now. So.
Are you both very physically involved in the photograph? I mean, some people will get right in the mud to get that little shot. Is that
we had a shoot
my muck boots on.
Yeah, well, I had my not muck boots on, but was right behind him, so not quite as far into it. But I was like, oh man, I can't be stuck standing on the dock like climbing out. Like these are never going to be the same.
I mean, as you know, I talked about briefly a couple weeks ago, I have my water housing camera, where I will literally go out in the water with the surfers and with my flippers and paddle around. And I mean, I'm right in it. I'm in the waves getting slammed up. Wow. So I'm very involved. I have to feel that photo. It's if I'm not feeling it, it's like, I'll end up just leaving, not even posting anything. I have to be in a moment.
When you say you have to fill the photo and you're in an environment where you're going there to take photos, but the two of you, this question is directed to you both. How are you just taking a multiple series of photographs, or like this is when you've got it, you have it?
Yeah, that's
or is it when you review it?
I don't know when it's coming.
I am a little bit more of a continuous shooter
Mm-hmm.
because I'm afraid of missing a moment. And then I get to spend about quadruple the amount of time going through.
Have fun editing all those.
And when you're you both mentioned that you really like the candid photographs.
Right.
So when you're dealing with actual people, what is it that you're looking for that you think makes a very successful photograph in a candid moment?
Well, I think, first of all, they can't be looking at us, or
it
takes
don't
people
look at
a little
me.
bit. Yeah, don't look at us, and that's why the camouflage. This is where our
it's finding people's energy. I mean, that's
getting them to relax.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, it's that's what I've always found really, and that's why I'm like so obsessed with candid. So like, I want to capture that person's energy and their soul. I mean, if that's a possible thing. But
we like meeting people ahead of time too, to kind of get a feel for them, so we know how to get those sort of moments, and not have to do it when we're on location. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I have this, and we may have talked about this in a previous radio interview, but the paintings that I do are based on vintage photographs. I collect old photographs. And I think that people reacted with the camera differently than they do today because they're everywhere.
Right.
And at that time, even, this is just my opinion, but I would say even during the first several decades of the introduction of the camera to American culture, and you can go through the decades and study them, people still weren't quite sure with how to pose. And of course, sometimes it took a long time. They had to stand perfectly still.
Now
and,
you have to unpose.
Yes. Now it's the opposite.
Everyone's a model.
We've come full circle.
Okay, I know this is how you do your Instagram.
Yeah.
However,
But there were famous photojournalists that were documenting history, American history. Even the government had these phenomenal photographers that were going out there documenting history, which you can find, of course, in the Library of Congress, et cetera, et cetera. And the people they were capturing, many of them were candid, but a lot of them were people that were in these environments that they wanted to document so that we knew what was going on culturally in the country, so they could address it politically. I know I sound like I'm spending out a lot of words here, but they were really amazing photographs.
Right.
And we see them now still, in the context of history, when you see them online, and you're like, wow, look at this. And you wonder, what type of relationship is forming between the photographer and the subject at that moment.
Right. And that's a service that we want to provide. We've actually had a lot of local businesses reach out to us, helping them promote their business, And one of the things we'll do, we'll go on site and take pictures of the guys at work. I mean, that's capturing someone in their moment at their craft is beautiful. And I just, that inspires me. That makes me want to go out and grab my camera and capture, a moment in time.
We're casting a wide net right now.
We are.
What we're
Hey, well, that's exciting.
But
When you're fine tuning
Yeah.
what it is that you want to focus on. Pardon the pun, but that you want.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous
Have rent
that you want to
today.
say yes. That we want. Yes, and there is rent that happens.
We
But it's
got
on- and of course
we got a text.
We
that
do.
came in.
Oh, I would love to hear it.
It's what's a 2-part question? It seems. What happened to get you into photography? First question.
Very good question. I don't know. It's something I have. I'm almost 30 now. I kind of grew up in that tech phase. I've always, had a Nintendo and electronics, and I actually got my first Sony snapshot when I was like 10 years old, and I just wanted to take pictures of things. I don't know why. I just felt, me and my friends were doing goofy things and acting like idiots, and just wanted to go take pictures, and it just kind of, blossomed to that, and I just kept going with it.
Right on. Interesting. And Susan?
I'm 40, so I used to have to drop my film off at
No,
a
that's
photo
right.
hut and wait 3 or 4
What?
days and drive
What is
back.
that?
And,
It would
and
take
pick it
3
up
days to
with
get
my
there in the
Lay
covered
Click,
wagon
I
to get
think
there.
was the
Yeah.
name of my first.
What was it?
Lay Click.
Oh,
My
Lay
first-
Click.
Yes, very fancy. I have,
Did you get in the car
progressed
to
a
get to
little
the?
bit. Yes, took Lay film in. And,
Live film.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I want to be creative, I think, and I was a writer for 10 years. I still like to think I'm a writer.
Yes,
I
well, you
haven't-
were very successful.
I haven't
with-
quite let that go.
Yeah.
I am not artistic. I cannot draw a straight line with a ruler. So for me, I had to go with the photography. Unlike you, I cannot paint. I cannot draw. And I think that was just a way for me to capture moments and memories and put
Sure.
out there how I see the world. It's just a way for me to do that, an extension of that.
When you look back upon individually and together your careers as photographers, did you ever sort of see this, what's happening really? I mean, it's happening right now as we speak. It's all started coming together very quickly. And it's all very exciting. And you're like,
I know what we like to officially
Like,
say. We don't
pinch
know
each
what's
other.
going on.
yeah, but it feels like there's a good synergy there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think when people are very creative and their paths cross. I was talking to my friend Michael Bell earlier today, and he and I have had many great experiences together. Just joining forces as artists. Do you feel that that's happening? Between the two of you.
We decided not to be nemesises.
Yeah, that was
So
the first
we had-
relationship.
yeah.
Who is this Susan?
Posting pictures again. I'm still mad about those pelicans at sunset that one night. Yeah, but it's we kind of would joke and say, "Oh, we should open a gallery. Like, why don't we have a
we
gallery?"
kind of just threw out there like, what's one dream of yours with this whole thing, like that you wish would happen? And we're like, a gallery.
And then we're
people
like,
come
"Oh,
to
we
us.
should team up, and we could probably do it together." And then
Like,
space,
like,
yeah,
and
became
here you
available,
are.
and we were like, "Oh, hey."
And then office
No, I
space
think
came
we're-
available, and we're like, oh my god,
Are we
wow, this
actually-
is happening.
See,
Soonish.
you manifested it.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's what I say.
positive thoughts, positive results.
Absolutely. Hey, I need to give another shout out to an all-important sponsor of Coastal A&E, George Thompson, Realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Gallo Realty for more than 15 years. He has specialized in residential real estate in the beautiful Delaware Resort area. Visit isellthebeach.net for up-to-date listings, real estate activity, and make sure to sign for George's weekly Coastal Delaware Market Watch to stay informed about the incredible real estate opportunities in the Delaware Resort area. That's George Thompson, Realtor of isellthebeach.net. There you go.
So,
we're
Michael, we got
doing,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
we're going to be doing real estate photography. as
Oh, well, there you
That's the
go.
drone
That's
will also
exciting.
be-
Hey, that's another feather in the cap.
Another.
Do we have another text?
Well, I didn't get to the second part
Oh,
of the
there's
text.
a,
Yeah, I was like that.
But
I
wait,
think
there's
a second
more.
question.
There's more.
So the second question seems a little more involved. It's, do you believe technological advancement with the cameras being available to everyone in the palm of their hands has made the professional photography industry more difficult?
Ooh, that's a
Yeah,
good
that's
question.
Trying to do
great
something.
question.
Thank you, texter. I'm not sure who texted that in, but thank you for
It doesn't have a name on it. so.
anonymous
Oh.
question.
So, I think we kind of touched base on that a couple weeks ago with, I personally love seeing where everyone's eye is at. But that also makes, seeing the composition of shots. I mean, it's you see things in a different light when you you get all these massive people with cameras in their hands, and I enjoy it. But it's everyone's a photographer now with their cameras, but I think it definitely separates the people.
But that's
who
why we're trying to do something a little different too, with the vacation packages and adventure packages, and so.
I mean, there's people that obviously just take cool, fun photos for their Instagram account, or here we are having a party. But then it sort of stays there. You're elevating what you're doing into.
I have purpose behind my shots. I mean, and going back to the callers or the Texas first question, every time I take a snapshot, I'm trying to capture a memory or a feeling that I'm personally feeling. And a lot of time people will post on my comments saying like they felt a certain way when they looked at my picture, and I'm like, that's perfect. That's what I was trying to do. So once again, I think what makes photographers different from other photographers is like that emotion that you're able to portray. So
do you feel how do I put this out? So if you look upon it on that level, then the camera on your phone is a creation tool, right? When you think about it, I mean, it's a tool you can use to make art.
Yeah.
Whether it's and taking something ridiculous of your kitten knocking over a bowl of milk, or you're trying to capture some beautiful thing, you're creating. So on one level, you've given this tool to the masses,
right?
And I personally think on that level that you're opening up, you're helping our society, our culture, our world look at life through a creative
we hope they use it for
vision.
good and not
evil. Yes, and of course, like all tools, you want to use them for good and not evil. But you want them to say that was something that didn't exist 25 years ago. I mean, you didn't. If you wanted to take a photograph, you had to go get the camera.
Oh, it was a process.
Yeah.
But here, and that's the thing too. Like me and Susan have to remind ourselves, like, hey, like sometimes we need to put down the camera and enjoy the moment. I mean, that's something we definitely have to remind ourselves, and just remind people in general, because we can take ourselves out of that moment very easily, like distracted by that sunset or that, this.
Sometimes it's good to even step
eagle
away
flying
and
by.
enjoy it. Yeah,
this is so beautiful. I'm putting down the camera.
Yeah.
And we got
that's
2
a struggle.
minutes.
It's a struggle.
Yeah. I will have you both back on the show at some point, because we could talk of soonish. Soonish. I think we could talk about that for a long time, because I think that's a very interesting aspect of our culture.
Yeah.
This 24/7 access that we have to document photographs and to put them out there as part of our lives.
It's like 17 trillion or it's some crazy number, like photos captured each year. It's like something silly.
I can't even imagine.
It's a silly number.
It's wild.
That's like me with the.
Yeah,
have fun editing those.
8,000 photographs later in a nanosecond. But I do. I mean, who knows where that rabbit hole will eventually lead? Because when you think about that technology, it really isn't. I'm older than it. Anyone that's over
older than Kyle.
Yeah. So, I was watching. What was I watching the other day? This show, and it takes place over a variety of years. And the guy pulled out a cell phone. It was from 1990. It was this big brick of a thing, and no one really had them. Yeah, and you're like, what? And you just think, in reality, that was only 20 years ago.
It's crazy.
Pretty wild
Leaps
stuff.
and bounds.
And but at the same time, it's opened doors for people to do things exactly like the two of you are doing, which I think is great.
We're
and
here.
we just got a few seconds left here on the air. So what's the next soonish elevation of the gallery
We're going to have a
studio?
little opening.
Little
Hopefully
ribbon
the
cutting.
second week in April. So.
Fantastic. Where, if someone wanted to get on Facebook or somewhere
New
to
Wave Imagery
New Wave Imagery
will be the official studio page.
Fantastic.
How is that spelled? NEW or?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. New Wave Imagery.
And it's open to public. We're going to have an opening. You guys definitely come in and check out our gallery, hang out, pick our brains. I don't know. Just
cheese and cookies.
Cheese and cookies. No, all you need, you need some
adult
wine,
beverages,
some
perhaps,
grapes, some cheese nips. Man, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having
Such
us.
a good time. This has just flown by this time. I'll definitely have you guys back on. Listen, if you're going to go out and celebrate St. Patrick's Day, do so carefully and safely. Have a very good time. Don't forget to wear green. You gotta have Lucky Charms on there. I just can't stop thinking, I know, I got Malton Green.
Tomorrow.
Look at this. It is tomorrow. No, I know. You're right. I'm pushing the gun with the green. But you guys have a great time. Thank you for joining me, everyone.
Thanks, Michael.
I loved it. See you next week.
Losing a loved one is one of life's most difficult and painful events. Catholic cemeteries are here to provide for your spiritual